What a beautiful day today at the Halifax Waterfront. Beautiful boats here, amazing things going on. This one has the colors of the European Union and all the white, it's called white, what do you say, uh, countries and culture and heritage, see, all the way from Canada to the United States, to the ones in Europe, and all the other people that consider themselves white. So they celebrate that because they consider that Canada is belongs to them. See, I don't know, does it or does it not? How much? Why? How? See, and most of the people that you see here enjoying nice life belong to these communities, the ones represented in these flags. The ones being oppressed, the ones being kicked out, the ones being whose potential is being reserved, belong to other countries or other continents. For example, Africa, for example, Asia, for example, multicultural or Caribbean or whatever other culture, or Aboriginal people of Canada who actually truly own the land and the resources here, except what has been developed on it, or whatever investments and property there is. So it's and the King of England and other royal British families and European families signed the treaty with the Aboriginal people to guarantee that they wouldn't harm the water, they wouldn't harm the land and the air and the what do you call it, other resources, including people, children, women, and family values and all that stuff. But if you look at the water now here, the water has changed color. It used to be a light blue, different color blue, which is like what type of blue? It was a lighter color of blue anyway, but now it's really dark and green and looks like there's algae growing on it. The reason is there's a company right there close to, so there's a bridge right there on that side. There's a company there that's putting magnesium in the water. So they're literally polluting the ocean water. See, right past where the ferry is, there's a bridge there. Right past where is it? There's Canadian flag somewhere there. So right past those flags, that building, there's a flag of Canada, or Canada will stand and get for thee, and that's a Nova Scotian flag right there. So past that so these buildings here, this one here, and this one here, and this one here, they are owned by the same family. This one here, and this one here, and this one here, and this one here. These are all owned by the same family here, and also that one there. So that's the same family. See, so just a few people. This is a Jewish family that owns this one. The company is called Southwest. So basically, there are just a few people, few families that are the one who own everything, and not everything. They can't really own everything, but they try. They make an effort to grab as much as they want. See, and have the nice things and the nice life and the nice businesses. Like for example, I show you that this one here, these two boats here. One is a family boat, this white one, but the other one at the back, the blue one, is a family business. So it's a visitors. They just take visitors for what do you call it? Just to sail the waterfront, and they share the history and culture, wherever it is. The two white ones there belong to families, and even the little one there. And the one at the far back there is the city. It belongs to the city of Halifax. The ferry that crosses to a place called Woodside on the other side, or Dartmouth. That's called Dartmouth. And this other side here, past these flags, and right here on this deck, wooden deck, is called Halifax. So this is the other side of Halifax. So that's called the dark side, and it's called the bright side of life. So on this bright side, you get all these businesses, all this whatever things that are going on here that go on in society and stuff like that. See, so in society and stuff like that. So this is how it is. This is how life work and how business and society work in general. So George Orwell said, "Some pigs want to be more equal than others." So that's a synopsis of his book. His book is called. What's the book called? It's called Animal Farm. In Animal Farm, he said, it's just how it is that humanity does it. End up being some pigs want to be more equal than others. It's not just about one culture or heritage. It's a concept called greed. So greed or corruption, or like messed up human values or family values happen when in situations when there's people, culture, or heritage that or ruling entity or whatever it is that is in society, they want to have more than others. Right there on the other side, you can see what do you call it? It's a cruise ship. So that's a cruise ship. So this cruise ship, some of them take about 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people on the cruise ship. So that's what happened there. And here we are on the Halifax Harbour Walk. This is the harbour. So this is the wooden harbour here, and there are all these businesses here. If you look at the businesses, you'll see Casino Nova Scotia, you'll see Paddy's Wharf, and the list goes on and on, including NASCAD, which is like the Nova Scotia College of Arts and Design, law courts, and City Hall, and Halifax Ferry Terminal, and Halifax Marriott. All these businesses here, and remember the total number of the businesses is about 60 businesses here. All of them belong to the community that has the flags there on the boat there, on the boat up there. So it belongs to that. However, which is called the white community, or white culture and heritage, or whatever it is, whichever way you want to put, or Caucasians, or whatever. It's a bunch of people that have a pale skin color. However, if you read this, this is another story here that says you are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq, who have been living on these lands since time immemorial. Recognizing this is a small but meaningful step in reconciliation and continued efforts building a strong nation-to-nation relationship. We are all treaty people. So it's called an acknowledgement of the land and the resources here that belong to the Mi'kma'ki, or the Aboriginal people of Eastern Canada. And they're a great kingdom, but you see it's reduced to something called nation to nation. See, nation to nation. See, and at the top is something called King Charles, or the royal families, wherever, Europe or wherever else. So it's good to be aware of these kind of things that go on in society, and you can see the map here of all the businesses here at the waterfront. All these businesses, you can see that they are here in the waterfront, see, and all the way to a place called Point Pleasant Park, right here, and all the way here to something called Citadel Hill, or the town clock, and all the way to some place called McDonald Bridge on this side. And this side is just a map of the businesses, see, and right here, smack in the middle of it, is something called Government House. This is the Lieutenant Governor's residence office. It's kind of like an official building. And then the old burial grounds is next to the lieutenants. The lieutenant governor represents the King of England, or the King of Britain, or the King of one of the royal representative of the royal families in Europe. See, and St. Matthew's Church is a British church. All burial ground is, I think, connected to the St. Matthew's Church, and then St. Mary's Basilica represents the Italian, and then Foundation Place, and then the Shipyard, and then Summit Place, and then the Wave, and then Sackville Landing, and then Bill, Nova Scotia is the one that runs this Halifax Boardwalk right here. So that's Halifax Harbour Boardwalk, and then you have the military children's playground. So it looked innocent, but there you go. And then so between the business and the military there, HMC 600 represents the military, is the children. So the children are sandwiched between the military and business. So children are used for business, see? And then there's a maritime museum of the Atlantic right there at the top, see? On this side, there's all these other businesses, including Alexander Keith, Nova Scotia, etc., here, including the Acadian Monument. And the monument means the Acadians were kicked out from here in the south end of Halifax, and they were kicked out to the fringes or the sides or the ocean side of Halifax, of Nova Scotia, and they were also sent to New Orleans and I think some parts of the US. At the top here is something very interesting. See, this one is called Peace and Friendship Park. So the previous mayor here, his name is Mike Savage, is now the lieutenant governor. He now works as a lieutenant governor in this government house residence. So the previous mayor of Halifax made an effort to create something called Peace and Friendship Park. And before it was called Cornwallisburg, and Cornwallis was responsible for what do you call it, scalping. They used to kill the Aboriginal people and cut off the skin of their head. It's really savage. But anyways, so here comes Mike Savage. Mike Savage, his father was a mayor at he's the one, I think, that amalgamated the Greater Halifax. Greater Halifax include Dartmouth, which is Dartmouth is the side there across from the water, and Halifax is this side across from this side of the water. So he, Mike Savage, who established or changed the name to Peace and Friendship Park. His dad is the one that I think brought together the greater city of Halifax, and so the son comes along and he creates this thing called Peace and Friendship Park, and many other things that he did. He was a mayor for a long time here in Halifax, and so it's possible to have peace, friendship, and good human relationships, even if there are all kinds of businesses, even if there's all kinds of history, even if there's all kinds of things going on in humanity, because this is the other side. See the Dartmouth Trail. So Mike Savage's father was mayor of Dartmouth, and on this side we have Halifax here across the water. This blue part is the ocean, and this is the Dartmouth ferry terminal, this Alderney ferry terminal, and here is the Halifax ferry terminal. So on this side is where there's a lot of business, and this side is not much business. Here in Dartmouth it's more like a family area. Families also live in Halifax, but it's mainly like offices and business, and the regional capital of the Maritimes, and Bedford, and so you see this is the more condensed map. You can see Dartmouth, you can see Bedford, you can see Halifax. You can see how it is there. You see. Anyways, so and right smack in the middle here is something called George's Island. So George's Island has a history to it, and McNabb's Island. But let's talk about George's Island. I'll go show you the monument here. George's Island is that one right there. See, that's George's Island, the green one right there with the lighthouse. So on that island were put the Acadian people before they were shipped to out of Nova Scotia. Then now this became an English-speaking area, and then you have all this history and culture that goes into this place. So you get the predominance now of what's called white people here in Halifax, and then there's like few multicultural people like the African here, working at the bicycle. They work at the bicycle thief, the business here of this Asian gentleman here on the phone, or myself here, just running here in the afternoon. Here, this is a new building here. This new building is part of this family here, so it's owned by the same Southwest property, and a lot of the businesses here are run by the Ukrainian community or culture and heritage. Because a lot of the people that are in Ukraine also belong to the Jewish community or other. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, good. How are things going?
Today I came with my friend for work.
Oh yeah, good idea. It's good to come out the community. That way you get the support the community needs. See? Then number two, remember tomorrow is Canada Day, so everybody will be here.
Yeah,
they'll be out. So it's good to take a break from all the things we do and come into community. How have you been? How is the temple? How are things going with the Sri Lanka community?
Yeah, everything's going good.
Going good?
Yeah, thank
you. Thank you so much. Blessings you, and thank you for visiting. It meant a lot when you visited last time. To me and also to the people living in the house. And it helps to bring peace and kindness and love. And the little prayer that we did outside is really helpful.
Thank you so much.
And
See you.
All right, blessings you and the family. And my friend from Sri Lanka, he's like Buddhist priest. So that's my friend from Sri Lanka. Yeah, so that's how it is anyway. This is also like another board here about the same thing of the businesses here that are in the waterfront and stuff like that. So business in the waterfront. And but I wanted to show you this about the French, the importance of the Macnab Island. So that's Macnab Island, that's the cruise ship. This is the restaurants here, and this is the businesses here. And you can see all these kinds of businesses here. And what else you want to see? This is the lifeline here in case someone needs help here. And you can see they have a meditation here, Buddhist meditation in the Halifax Regional Library, and film screening too. And yeah, so they're just trying to share their culture and heritage, the Buddhist people and all kinds of people around here. See, but I want to show you this about the George's Island. So this George's Island is about the story of George's Island. It says here it was in Halifax on July 28th, 1755 that Nova Scotia Council made a decision to remove every Acadian, or the people that spoke French, from the colony. Over the next decade, George's Island, small island in the harbor, which is right there. So that's George's Island. I show you George's Island. It's right there. This green one here with the lighthouse. Okay, so that's the one they're referring to. Was used as a prison. You can see there, as a prison for hundreds of Acadians at that time. The first prisoners were the deputies who pleaded the Acadian cause before the Nova Scotia Council in July 1755. Lieutenant Governor Lawrence described the island as the place of most security right here, see? So Acadian partisans who took part in the resistance often ended up there. The facilities on the island were inadequate and living conditions were terrible. The last attempted mass deportation came in 1762, when more than 600 prisoners were shipped to Boston, Massachusetts. Refused to accept them. Were shipped to Boston. Massachusetts refused to accept them, and the ships returned to Halifax. That's funny, yeah? The deportation policy ended in 1764, And the government made sure that the Acadians who settled Nova Scotia did so in scattered communities in Nova Scotia, a vibrant new Acadie lives on in lives on in communities such as Clare, Argyll, Sherrycamp in Cape Breton Island, Madam, and Pumpkin, and other parts of Nova Scotia. Usually at the edges somewhere where there was marshy land, or there was places that they had the English speaking and other Dutch speaking and other Jewish speaking Hebrew, and other white people did not want to live. So this is also the same thing. It speaks about the same thing in French. See, and this is how the deportation happened. This is how it's called the Great Upheaval. So this is the movement of the French people from Halifax and to the fringes of Nova Scotia, and it's an injustice that still goes on today, and it's called reservation of the people. So reservation of the people. So Canada basically is built on something called reservation or an apartheid system. And it's very rare in the south end here to find someone that's black from Africa, or cultural heritage, or someone that's Acadian, or someone that's probably Arabic or whatever. It's just mainly white people here in the south end of Halifax. It's just an apartheid system, really, if you think about it. See, and this is the story of George's Island anyway, and they were moved to USA with New Orleans and the fringes of Halifax. See, that's how it is. See, and the island there, George's Island, is where they were kept, right there in the island, and they were shipped from there. Now the ships here bring tourists from where? These are the same slave ships that used to bring Africans and other slaves from not the same ones, but very similar, that brought the Africans from all other slaves. And even now there's still a very big trade in it's called human trafficking. There's still a big human trafficking. But these ones, the ones that come on the cruise ships, they don't realize that's happening. So it's what happens is the ones now in the cruise ships are just symbols of what's called success, or a reward for those that abide or play by the rules, or do whatever it is that they're like for sure. They're like just a few. It's just like I don't know how to put it. It's like those ones that what do you say? Puppets for show. That's how it is. See, let's put it that way. Puppets for show. But you see that dog there, same as the dog. See, the dog is controlled by the master, and then the dog, for it to poop, for it to do whatever else, it relies on the kindness of the master. So, but the sun there shines for everybody, and then the universe provides the care for everybody, and then Mother Earth provides the good resources for each and everybody to achieve their great potential. So it's just interesting how humanity works, and how humanity goes about. It's called population control in a way, population control. However, even within those situations, and even within challenges now, there's like a new Hitler called Trump, who is like trying to cause a lot of harm to his own family and to other human beings and to countries and to this and the other. It's been going on for a while anyway, but once in a while it gets really intense. So this is one of those situations in life or in society where you get intense situations happening like that. So what happens in situations like that? You find that see, the bird there is just going home after having supper. You can see it flying away right there. See, it's flying home, and it comes here. They come here almost every other day to catch fish and it's there flying towards the lighthouse there. You can see it, but it's now close to the island there. I don't know where he lives, but he heads towards that direction almost every day in this time of the day. 25 years I've been here, almost 26 now, and yeah, it's just how it is. So if you can see there on the cruise ship, you can see a crown. I don't know where that comes from or which country or whatever, but you can see the crown. It represents the royal families or whatever culture and heritage that's represented by the ship. So anyways, it's just part of the history and culture of something called Halifax waterfront and society, and just what goes on in society and life and that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's a story for today about life, human society, and culture and heritage, and the intriguing interactions between human beings, businesses, offices, culture, the sunshine, and all kinds of amazing things that happen in human society. Anyways, with that, have a good evening. Greetings from Halifax, Nova Scotia province.